Back turbo.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Lamped Up Sports Podcast. I'm your host Connor Quigley. To my right is Nolan Banky, and to my left is Eric Capriano.
Let's fucking go.
Today, we have varying topics on the NFL that we're going to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to bring up today, it came out yesterday. What are your top all-pro snubs for this season?
My number one. Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara did have a nice season, but did
My man.
But is Kamara's season better than Gurley's or Zeke's? No.
But
If
I
anything,
don't know.
you would put Saquon in there above both of them.
No, but what about flex? The flex. Because they had flex and they had Tyreek and Christian McCaffrey, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was Tyreek Christian.
Dude,
McCaffrey
I
for
might
sure, too.
like Alvin Kamara more than I like Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill had how many touchdowns Tyreek Hill had this year?
Dude,
A lot.
Tyreek
Hill had a very
About
good
12.
season.
I'm just a big Kamara guy.
I agree with
I like it.
Yeah, but after, so beginning of the season,
I
he
like
did very nice. But then after Melvin Ingram came back, he was just nothing. Nobody talked about him. I remember fantasy stats were going down. He had a couple touchdowns here and there. But he wasn't nearly as productive once Melvin Ingram came
Maybe
back.
just a
Or not
nose
Melvin
ring.
Ingram, Mark Ingram, my bad.
I think it's a nose ring.
And it might be the nose ring. That is very.
It could be holding the
That
back.
is very
I don't know.
possible.
It's possible.
It might weigh him down, but Tyreek Hill has a thick neck, so I think the thick neck of Tyreek
He's
Hill.
got a
How
big
is he
neck.
that fast,
Look at his
honestly?
neck. Look at
Because
his
his
neck.
neck is very thick.
Looks like Kodak.
He does look like Kodak. He looks like Kodak.
No, that's all
He
touchdown.
looks like Stone Cold.
He had
He
1,400
looks like a
yards,
black
12
Stone Cold.
touchdowns. 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Alright, he had a good year.
And the fact that, I mean, I
Patrick
think
Mahomes
you
is
can't.
the god.
I think Michael Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins have to be the wide receiver.
No,
There's no
I
argument.
think
They're one
DeAndre
two.
Hopkins
Yeah.
is the best number one receiver in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
think-
disagree with
And
that.
I think Michael Thomas is second.
Because did you see? Dude,
Yeah.
Just think about
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins' career. Think of his
Oh,
quarterbacks.
he's had nobody.
He's had no one ever
And now that he
throw.
has Deshaun Watson.
The thing about
he's-
Julio, the thing we put freaking Hopkins over Julio is because look who Hopkins has had thrown to him for this
Yeah,
4
no,
or
exactly.
5 years.
Julio's always had Matt
And Julio's
Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Who is
That's
a good
right.
quarterback.
You know who's one of, I don't understand Mitchell Schwartz at tackle
yeah.
instead of Lane Johnson. Or I mean, Trent Williams was hurt this year.
Lane Johnson was off to
Williams
a.
missed a good
Yeah.
amount.
The only thing that's about Lane is he
And
was
that's-
off to
that's what's
a slow start. His first 4 or 5 games, Lane Johnson. We were all sitting there looking at it like, dude, what are you
I was
doing?
gonna
Yeah,
say,
I
Lane
thought that
Johnson?
Chiefs O-line wasn't
Yeah,
that
the
good,
NFC East O-line was,
honestly.
all their lines were ass to start the year.
Yeah. I mean, Tyron Smith was hurt too, wasn't he?
I
He
mean,
missed a
yeah,
couple
the
of games.
Giants just had a shit show over there.
Nate Solder.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know, all right. On the
They
offense,
sold
snubs.
her.
You know who I agree with completely here?
Who?
Dude, Quentin Nelson on the Colts.
The reason they are in the playoffs is because that O-line, they
Here's
drafted
my
him this
O-line.
year, and they drafted one of the other guys was drafted this year too.
Yeah.
But hold on, we'll talk about that.
Where's the
We'll talk about that
defense?
later.
Hold on, my biggest
The
snub
Mm-hmm.
is Keenan Allen for the Chargers.
But where do you put him? Who do you put him? Is he? I mean, he second team. I can
How
see
this
it. I think
fucking
first
shit
team. I think first team. You can't put anybody over those two
Alright.
guys.
Well, for the second team for the receivers, they give it to Julio and Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek's the
But
flex on
Tyreek's
the
the flex in
first.
the first.
So that's
yeah.
where I think you put Keenan Allen on for second team.
Mm-hmm. I can
he,
agree with that. Yeah.
he was the fourth
Yeah, that's
best
pretty dumb.
receiver in the league. Just
Yeah.
keep Tyreek the flags. He's literally the fourth best wide receiver in the league.
Here's Ron.
Mhm. I think flex first team is better than
Yeah.
wide receiver
Receiver
second
second-
team.
yeah.
This one, I hate to admit this, because I fucking hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But my man Leighton,
You're gonna go Wayne Vader Ash?
over Kuechly or Bobby Wagner, I can go either
Bobby
way.
Wagner is the best player on that defense.
I mean, my thing was
and
the
that
Seahawks,
defense is
dude. The Seahawks,
the defense is gonna win them a
the
playoff game.
Seahawks
But we'll
just
talk about that
started
later.
so slow. The Seahawks just started very slow this
No,
season.
they really didn't. They were
just behind.
They were kind of up and down all season.
They
I
were
thought.
behind.
They didn't have an identity
I just
that way.
feel like
Yeah.
I just
guess
feel
at the end of the
like
game,
my
they got
man
that run
Leighton,
game.
I like this kid Leighton, and
I think he's good.
he should
I
be
think
in
he's
there.
there.
I mean, Darius Leonard, very good.
Darius Leonard
They're gonna run.
That's the
They're
thing,
gonna
I
run
just
the NFC.
I just don't see where else I just don't think you squeeze him in there. Even on the second,
I think over Luke.
even on the second team, it's Von Miller, C.J. Mosley. No, you're wrong.
I don't-
Wayne Andervest is second team.
Is
all
he second
defense.
team?
He's second
Oh,
team.
he's
all
second team.
I want him
defense.
That's
all
fine,
first-
then,
I
okay.
want him all pro, dude.
He's second team all pro.
I want first team.
I
my
think
opinion.
those three
That's
guys
my
have to.
opinion.
Who else is second team? Von Miller,
Von
C.J. Mosley.
Miller's on there twice. He's an edge rusher on there too.
Really?
Dude, did you see? I mean, I don't mean like you get my Eagles in it, but Michael Bennett Michael Bennett's like the second half of the season, almost had like a sack a game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he fried. He had a really good season.
Hold on, is this
Which is,
NFC?
like, and he didn't even play that much.
Yeah.
This is just all pros both.
Yeah.
Both combined.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Hold on. Stephon
Nah,
Gilmore, did he
Jackson.
really have that good of a season?
Yeah.
Really?
He did. He deserved
Huh.
it.
Eddie Jackson's an animal.
I think
know
Eddie
that.
Jackson. I'll give him that. I'll give him
Eddie
that.
Jackson.
Hold on. Can you get a second?
Eddie
for a
Jackson
second?
has become probably one of the top.
Who's the second team?
Second team what? Safety? Jamal Adams.
Jamal
And
Adams.
Harrison Smith. I don't agree with Harrison
Dude.
Smith at all.
Yeah, I think
Harrison Smith is
yeah,
overrated.
we know
I'm
he's
being
Harrison
biased,
Smith.
but I was very big on DJ this year.
That yeah,
He fried.
yeah, no, he did have a good season.
He
They
had
cut
so
him.
many
I think
things.
because they cut him,
Well,
they
dude, he
kind
was
of
a
maybe.
cancer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they said he was hard. They said he was
Like Josh Norman didn't even like him.
Really?
Like, if Josh Norman doesn't like you, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh
And like
Norman's, Josh Norman's kind
Jonathan
of like
Allen,
kind of
Jonathan
ish.
Allen was gonna be the captain of that defense, and he hated him. Like no one liked him.
I think like Harrison Smith, I think he's very overrated.
He's still a beast.
Dude,
Eric
the
Bledsoe.
Eagles. No, the
Eric
Eagles.
Weddle was good. Eric Weddle's still good.
No. So I was watching a thing.
He's
I was watching a
one
thing
shit, he's
today.
still
I
good.
was watching a thing today. It was the Eagles' game plan for the NFC Championship game against the Vikings.
Mhm.
Guess what the game plan was?
Throw the ball at Harrison Smith.
Throw the ball at Harrison Smith. They said Harrison Smith is he jumps too much. He's always reacting to the ball.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing a lot of play action with him in RPO to set him up because he was always biting so much. I put another Eagles on Ellen Malcolm Jenkins. Did you see he
Yeah,
played every
yeah.
snap this year?
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Like that.
I'm putting Malcolm Jenkins over Harrison Smith.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know who I do
I
like
agree
on
with
this
that. They
list?
stubbed a lot of Eagles.
I like Kyle Fuller.
Kyle Fuller's also an animal. Yeah, no,
He's gonna be a
that
stud.
Bears like 3 Bears on that defense.
They're
That's
Bears
impressive.
are fucking something.
The Bears,
else.
yeah, that Bears defense is
They're
good.
fucking something else.
But I mean, there's 2 Chargers on there too. That don't sleep on the Chargers secondary.
No, Chargers
That
secondary.
Chargers secondary.
They're the most complete
Yeah.
team. We'll get into that later.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. That's later. That's later.
That is filthy.
I mean,
Okay.
for Michael Bennett this year, I mean, he
9
had
sacks.
9 sacks, 25.
J.J. Watt and Khalil Mack had over 10. I know that. And J.J. Watt had J.J. Watt was almost up there for the lead for a little bit. Let me look at this.
I don't think, maybe I was just being a little.
Yeah,
Michael Bennett
I
probably
think that's
should have,
maybe a
but
little
yeah.
Eagles bias.
When I was
Yeah.
jumping in, maybe.
Yeah. Who was the second team for edges?
Von Miller, Cameron Jordan,
Where's
and Miles Garrett and Daniel Hunter.
Miles Garrett, I like that.
Where's
Miles
Garrett?
Garrett's nice.
Is he like wasn't he a pro?
Was it?
Second team.
Second team all pro?
That's
Close to
what
linebacker.
Miles Garrett's DM.
No, he said Kerrigan.
Ryan Kerrigan?
No, you said
Yeah.
Ryan Kerrigan, I don't think he got.
sacks. J.J. Watt had 16 sacks. And how many did Khalil Mack have?
No,
Khalil
because.
Mack had 12 and a half. So I feel
Is
like
he not all
yeah.
pro?
Who? No.
Is
No.
he just got pro?
Because the first team edge rushers were
Yeah,
JJ,
yeah.
Khalil, Aaron
Yeah,
Donald,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Fletch. And I can't say I don't agree with that. So.
No, yeah. Who was second team? Wait, who was second team?
Second
Did Chris Jones make second team?
No.
Really?
It's Von Miller,
Chris
Cameron
Jones
Jordan, Miles Garrett, and
What?
Daniel Hunter.
Chris Jones had 15 sacks this year.
Oh, I do remember reading.
I remember watching
he's
the
a
one
Chiefs-
Chiefs
he's
game.
a
and
Super
he-
Bowl, yeah.
He's
He was. I feel that now too. Now that we're pulling up that stat list,
yeah.
he's a big snub.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's one of the few players on that defense that actually like.
He had a
him,
better year than
D-
Daniel Hunter.
No, him, D Ford. Yeah, where's
Daniel Hunter's
Jordan
right.
Cameron? Cameron Jordan has 12. That's that.
Jordan Cameron's a bitch.
Jordan Cameron's the tight end.
He's still
That used to play for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He played for the Browns.
He's
Yeah.
a bitch. I don't like him.
Dude, I would say Jamal Adams first team.
Dude, I'm like
Over
him.
who?
How much
Jamal
my
Adams
man
over who?
Aaron
Eddie
Donald had
Jackson?
20 and a half
Or Derwin?
sacks. Oh, holy shit.
Neither of those guys.
I maybe Desmond King because Desmond King's in there as defensive back,
That's an impressive stat.
and Derwin.
7 forced fumbles.
Yeah, that's
JJ Watts,
crazy.
yeah.
How many Khalil Mack had?
Well, how many
Khalil
Cleveland?
Mack
So did
had 6.
D4, my god.
Yeah, no. And so did T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt had 6.
Damn.
Dude, where's him? Where's
Yeah,
TJ
where's
Watt?
T.J. Watt? That's a big one, too. That's a kind of a big stuff. He was like the anchor of that Steelers defense. The Steelers did choke, though.
50 total
So-
solos, 68 combined,
We'll
18
talk about that
assisted, 13 sacks, 6 forced fumbles.
Yeah, no, he's an animal. And it's funny because you got JJ's an animal, TJ's an animal, and then, what's his name? Derek. In San Diego.
My
Who
dude.
gets like one rush a game if he's
My
lucky.
guy.
And I think the biggest snub out of everyone is Zach Ertz.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Alright, he may not be first team because of what I think Kittle's first team because he had the yards.
Yeah.
But the thing with Kittle is he didn't have the touchdowns to prove it. And he had like 20 less receptions, which looks good actually, because he's like, wow, imagine if he actually had all of that. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure, I was looking at it today, Zach had better stats than Kelsey in one of them and in the other one.
Okay, Kelsey had, how many touchdowns did Kelsey have? Kelsey had 10 touchdowns.
Wait, is Zeke over fucking Saquon in this?
Yeah.
Saquon's, I was going to say Saquon.
Saquon should be over Zeke.
Zeke led the league in rushing, that's all I'm going to say. Saquon gets the ball 73% of the time I saw.
His
line,
line,
it was like 30.
he doesn't even have a line. It's literally just Saquon running around by himself.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Zeke's second team in the flex is McCaffrey. And on the first team, you're going to put him over Todd Gurley?
No, Todd Gurley is definitely first team. He had 20 touchdowns this year, and he missed what? 3 games? He was on track for 30 touchdowns in a season.
His O-line is literally insane, though. And
not really. That O-line is
Sean
not that
McVay is
good.
his dad.
Sean McVay, we'll talk about this later, but Sean
McVay is his father and just
overrated.
No, he's
okay.
not.
Yeah, he is. We'll talk about that. All right. So I think we're good.
He held Jay Gruden together.
So let's talk about the real important thing this weekend, playoffs. Wow. Talk about playoffs because I think that
bear down.
I'm gonna tell you, I think these are some of the toughest games to call
to predict
because in the last few years because the playoff games because
it's a good.
A lot of good games. A lot of good games.
We'll see how
usually
Cowboys.
That's gonna be a good game because I think
it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. Because all right, let's be honest here. Usually there's always 1 or 2 games where it's a 4 to 6. Where you're all right, they're probably gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that about the Eagles, but in reality, I think the Eagles and the Bears are a good matchup. That's not me being an Eagles fan either. I think they're a fantastic matchup. I think the Eagles can win that game.
The Eagles win the game if they can shut down Khalil Mack in that front.
So do you want to talk about that game first? Should we talk about that's the last game? Let's talk about the first game. Let's talk about the Colts and the Texans.
Bro.
Dude, Colts. Andrew Luck is a
you
fucking
Frank Wright, Andrew Luck are done. I think Deshaun Watson's very overrated.
This is bad because I also have the Colts. We all have the Colts, but I think it's pretty obvious that the Colts are going to win that game. The Texans have the 30th ranked passing defense, my bad. The 30th ranked passing defense against Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is dot master.
He made the Cowboys look like
Andrew Luck is amazing.
Their offensive line is good enough to do.
Yeah,
shut them down on the
I think so. I think
their front four down.
I think you get JJ might get one. Clowney might sniff one. Clowney might sniff him a little bit. I don't think Clowney will get to him. But I think Andrew Luck's gonna carry them to a win, and they can run the ball now. Marlon Mack's not bad. Marlon Mack, he took a while. Beginning of the season, he was kind of.
No one's talking about it. Their defense.
Their defense is good. Yeah,
they could do some damage.
No, they really.
Frank Wright was a great. Coming from the Andy Reid coaching tree, Frank Wright is a great.
Because if it wasn't for a guy who's another coach of the team in the playoffs, he probably would be coach of the year.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next game.
Next is Seattle and Dallas.
You know, I already know who I'm gonna pick.
Who do you pick?
I fucking hate him, but the Cowboys are gonna win this game.
Really? Who do you pick?
I said Seattle. Dude.
I think Seattle's gonna win this game. And I'll tell you why I think Seattle's gonna win this game.
Cowboys, they're a good team.
I'll tell you why Seattle's gonna win this game. And it's funny because we were talking about this earlier, and I disagree with you when it's an experience, but Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson do good things in the playoffs. They do very good things in the playoffs. And this Cowboys team, that defense is young. Dak Prescott has done nothing in the playoffs. And Zeke isn't unstoppable. I think Bobby Wagner and that defense will shut Zeke down. And I think they'll win this game.
Here's my point, dude. Because the Cowboys were average most of the year.
Okay.
I'd say halfway through the year they were average. They pick up Amari Cooper. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening, yes.
Because I'm just saying, dude, ever since they picked up Amari, I'm not saying, I think Amari's a good receiver, I don't need anything special.
Yeah, I think
Zeke's a good back. I'm not going to suck his cock. Zeke's good. But ever since Amari got there, it took pressure off fucking Zeke, and now he's putting up better numbers. The offense has been more electric.
I get that, yeah, I get that.
And I think with that, like, as long as Zeke and Amari got their thing going, I think they're going to win a game or two as well. They ain't going to win the Super Bowl.
A game or two? Okay. No,
game or two.
You know, I
defense is good.
I respect that because that is I like the Cowboys. Like, I'm not like I don't like the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys, but their team. They built something good on that defense. Those linebackers.
I'm sorry, but no credit to Jason Garrett. Fuck Jason Garrett.
Yeah, fuck Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett needs to be fired. Yeah. And honestly, fuck Dak Prescott. If you guys had an actual quarterback, you probably could win a Super Bowl. Like that's like if you had a real quarterback that doesn't throw 4-yard passes or wide open Amari Cooper bombs, which so like fuck that. It's because Amari Cooper's good. Like you could win a Super Bowl.
Alright, well I like this next game.
I don't do that. I think the
That's
Seahawks.
Game.
Let me see what Aaron has.
I just think the Seahawks can do it. I'm not.
I think so too.
I think that they will run the ball on the defense.
I mean,
exactly. That team, Chris Carson. What? All right. Score. Wait. Let me go back. Houston, Colts. What's your score, real quick? Let me get a score for you.
Houston. I got Colts. 24-10.
24-10.
I was gonna say 24-17.
24-17. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna like 31 because I think Andrew Luck can throw on him, and I'll give him like 21 maybe, something like that. I think the Colts defense is good. Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback, so I'll give that to him. And then Seahawks Cowboys score. Eric, you go first this time.
Seahawks Cowboys. Because I'm rooting for Russell. I don't think that defense contains Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson just makes plays in the playoffs, dude.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I'm going. I think it's still going to be a low-scoring affair. I'm going to go 24. 24-14.
24-14?
24-14.
You 24-14 Seattle winning?
Yep.
Is it my turn? Is this game in Dallas?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in the Dome.
Yes.
Okay. That's
interesting.
But I'm going Cowboys 29. 20-9.
20-9.
Yeah.
Field goal day.
I was gonna say.
Field goal day.
I'm thinking. Seattle wins 21-17, something like that. Something like
I was thinking close.
It's gonna be a close game.
I was thinking
and Dallas. Like this is probably the most unsure game that I am unsure. Dallas could definitely win this game.
Yes.
Like they could definitely win this game.
None of us.
As much as I don't want to say that, they could easily win this game. But I'm relying on Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll's experience in the playoffs.
And Bobby Wagner.
And Bobby Wagner. Yeah, like there's other guys, but I mean like when it comes to a quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't get much better than Russell Wilson in the playoffs. Russell Wilson is a Hall of Fame
That's just
quarterback.
not the same team, though. That is not the Seahawks that we saw.
You know, but
they're that's what they got.
I think
they're slow this year.
I think this team is better than the team that won the Super Bowl. This offense is, at least. They run the ball better. They're the number one rushing team. Did you know this? They're the number one rushing team. They were never the number one rushing team when they had Marshawn Lynch.
There's like it's like 52% they run the ball or something like that. That's the high.
And then when they throw the ball, they have Tyler Lockett, who's a speedy little dude. He just gets open all the time. And Doug Baldwin catches everything.
Yeah.
Like Doug Baldwin, if his hands have glue on them, if it hits him, it's caught. So I mean that team's good.
All right, well let's get on to this next one.
This is a good game. This is a really.
I like this game a lot.
Because
we just saw this game.
I know I have a friend who might be watching the show who's a big Baltimore fan, and he's going to be really mad when I tell him who I think's going to win this game. But let me hear it. Nolan, who do you think's going to win this game?
Dude, I think I'm going to go Ravens.
Ravens, really, Eric? I think I know who
I
you're
love
going
the
to
Chargers.
I think we're going to agree.
The Chargers. Look, I love the Chargers, but I'm gonna make my predictions right now. I'm going like 28-27 Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, I see.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Game winning touchdown or something?
Yeah. Let me hear your score real quick then. Let me hear what you think is going to be.
This is going to be a low scoring affair. Like this is going to be. I don't think
Baltimore has what, number one ranked defense this year? Yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing is, like with me with the Chargers, I think the Chargers are the most complete team in the playoffs.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I gotta see this
to be an upset.
I gotta see the score of the first
bet
game.
Bet some money on what the fuck I just said.
Let me see the score of the first game.
If it wasn't for that second half of the Browns game, where they decided to play Lamar Jackson and actually stopped him, and they actually stopped Lamar Jackson, I would have said the Ravens win this game. I think that the Chargers, they've already played
Jackson though. Like that's not the reason they're that good.
It's not. But he does run the ball so much, he puts them in a good spot where they can score these touchdowns and get these field goals. They run the ball into the ground.
He led quarterbacks in yards. Yeah. But like he gets like 20 yards, 20 freaking carries a game as a quarterback.
I think what they need to do is the Chargers stack the box.
5-2.
Yeah,
5-2. Evan Doherty, 5-2.
5-2. Shout out to Evan Dollars. 5-2. It's the next big thing. They run that. I think they can stop. I think they can stop the Ravens.
He can chuck it a little bit.
No, I don't think Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback. I think Lamar Jackson is the worst quarterback that was drafted. He's the worst quarterback in the playoffs by far. By far the worst quarterback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he can't throw the ball worth a damn.
I just trust the defense.
I like their defense, but I also like the Chargers' defense, and I think I like the Chargers' defense more, even though the Ravens performed better.
I'm going off of this. Like, they say it's hard to beat a team like for divisional, like if you have to play them 3 times a year to get them in the playoffs. I think it's hard to beat a team twice in a year. And I think the Chargers defense, like the front 7 is good enough if they do a 5-2 to completely shut down Lamar Jackson and make Lamar Jackson throw the football. Because their corners and safety, 2 out of 4 of them were all pro, can shut down those receivers because none of them are anything. Michael Crabtree's old, and they have Willie Snead
and John Brown.
Only one I like on the Ravens.
Their tight end's good.
Is Mark Andrews, Baker Mayfield's tight ending from Oklahoma is an animal.
Yeah, him and Peyton Hurst.
But the only thing, the thing about the Ravens is I like Gus Edwards.
Yeah, he's good running.
But I think
he kind of came on like later.
I think if you run a 5-2, you shut down the Ravens, and I think I think Phillip Rivers can get some play. I think this is his time. This is his year for the Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers' most complete team.
I just think that
Chargers.
Phillip Rivers is cursed, and my man is not going to get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did play an AFC Championship game to an ACL.
It's because he didn't get one for LT, so he's just not going to get one for himself. That's what it is.
Phillip, you're a cool dude, but you're not getting a chip, bro.
Now, we have to talk about the most important game of the weekend. The game that will decide the fate of me, if I live or die. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. Nolan?
You already know who I'm picking.
I already know Nolan's picking the Bears, and I already know Eric is picking the Eagles. And I also am picking the Eagles. So me and Eric managed to agree on every single one of these, and Nolan disagreed with us on every single one. No, except for the Colts.
I think it's the game.
But let me hear what Eric has to say about this game before I hear what you have to say.
I think the Eagles' offensive line can not stop. You don't stop Khalil Mack. And the D tackle. I forget his name on the top of my head. I think they can stop him and contain them enough for Carson. I wish Carson was playing.
Yeah.
Nick Foles to move the ball and for the Eagles to create plays and Alshon Jeffrey out there and Zach Ertz. I think the Eagles can do that. Okay. Also, wait. Also, Eagles defense, they're hot right now. They're playing good. Amante Maddox coming back after the Cowboys game has made a huge difference for us. I think the Eagles can contain the offense in Mitch Trubisky, and I think Mitch Trubisky isn't. This might be his game to prove to me. If he says something and picks the Eagles apart, then good for Mitch Trubisky. He's a good quarterback. He's earned it. But I think they're very young and inexperienced in the playoffs.
My guy Nolan, what you gotta say about this, buddy?
Alright, so we have a couple of things. So first, I just want to say I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is anything special. I think he's average.
Yeah, no, I think we have a consensus in the room that Mitchell Trubisky is average. He has his days.
This is what I think.
But he's average.
Just from the offense, a lot
There's
just a lot of shit they can do with that fucking offense. Like they can. Mitchell Trubisky can run a little bit.
He can. He's got some.
That hurts the Eagles. The Eagles are not good against mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But I don't think the offense is what's going to win this game.
You think it's the defense?
We go back to the beginning of the show. 3 all pro.
That's very true.
Like, here's the thing is, like, I think the Eagles had a good end to their season. I think they started off pretty shitty. But, like, it's been a while since they played a good defense. Like, this is going to
That's true. No, that is true.
You look back
Rams defense is not that good.
Houston's front seven is
good, but good O-line, shut that down. But Nick Foles could just pick apart that secondary.
This is the first complete defense in a while.
It is. No, this defense, This defense is gonna if they win a Super Bowl.
Nick Foles surprised us last year and picked apart Minnesota's #1 defense.
That's true, but I think this #1 defense
is a little more legit.
Is a little more legit. Like they've won games. They beat a team that scored 50 points. And they held them to 9 points. 9 points.
Like, cause I mean they're at Soldier Field, but they might be dancing in the club. After
this is this team is scary. And I'm gonna tell you, if the Eagles lose, I'm not gonna be devastated because I think the Bears will then win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because I think this Bears team is. I think the Eagles, where they have a good matchup is with Roquan or whoever or Danny Trevathan and Zach Ertz. Whoever they do, because neither of them are that
it's
great.
Like Goddard too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like both of them, they
do double tight ends.
Probably. Dallas Goedert's gonna be a really good tight end. He's gonna be an elite tight end.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, and Zach Ertz is probably
my ball
top 3.
Yeah.
Don't care what you say. Him, Kelsey, George Kittle.
Yeah.
Honestly, those 3 guys. Roquan Smith and Danny Trevathan aren't going to stop that. You know, they're going to have to bring down somebody like Eddie Jackson to put on them. Somebody else is good in coverage. But then you leave another guy like Nelson Aguilar could fry this team up.
Golden Tate could too.
Golden Tate.
I hate
Golden
the
Tate.
trade of Golden Tate. I hate the trade of Golden Tate.
Or he needs to prove himself. He needs to do something.
I think it made things a little more complicated in the offense because they were trying to. They
took
away from Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
who's a bigger, speedier threat. I think they can catch the ball inside just like Golden Tate.
But I think with Nick Foles in it now, they're gonna throw more to Nelson, which I like because that was a big reason they did good in the playoffs last year. Was Nelson Aguilar.
Super Bowl game, he had 8 catches for 94 yards or something like that.
Something like that.
And he was like one of the main reasons that he was there.
But so now I think the Eagles will win this game. I hope the Eagles win this game. But if they lose, it's not the end of the world. Because I understand that the Bears are back. The Bears are back. Like if they win, they're gonna make a 50 for 50 or whatever they're called. On this Bears defense, like the return of the Bears, and it's gonna be Mike Ditka. It's gonna be Mike Ditka with his mustache, and then there's gonna be a picture of
Mike Ditka like a rock.
What's his name? Matt Nagy. Yeah,
Matt Nagy.
Bailey, can I get the Bears from Bailey?
The Bears.
Alright.
I'm going 17-14 Birds.
17-14 Birds? Let me get your score on.
Alright, this is a night game, isn't it?
No, it's a 4 o'clock game, and it's like a defensive battle.
4 o'clock game up there in Chicago.
It's only 40 degrees though. Nick Foles.
14-3 Bears.
It's 40 degrees. 14-3 Bears.
21-13 Birds.
21-13 Birds from Bailey in the corner. Look, let me get a score.
It's probably be something like 14-12.
14-12.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
the Birds.
Close.
Look at the Birds in the 14-12.
Wait, the Bears have the old Eagles kick. Old Eagles kick.
Cody Parkey,
We're struggling this year.
Evan
Harmon, he had him for fantasy. We were in the car the one day when he missed the 4 field goals.
No.
That was funny. Man sucks ass.
I'm gonna go Eagles 15. There we go. That's what we're going with. Eagles are gonna score last minute touchdown, 2-point conversion, win the game. Doug Peterson's gonna have his nuts hanging. He's literally just they're gonna do the Philly special for the 2-point conversion. Philly special, and then fucking Doug Peterson's gonna whip his dick out and smack Matt Nagy in the face with it. Alright, so now, speaking of Matt Nagy, who is a good coach, and this is his first year, let's talk about awards. Let's go with Coach of the Year first, since I was just talking about Matt Nagy. Who's your Coach of the Year?
My Coach of the Year.
I really think it's Matt Nagy this year. I think Matt Nagy came in, turned this 4-12 Bears team around to a 12-4 team that has one of the best defenses in the league and an offense that can score points. And they were shit last year.
Do I want to say Andy Reid to be the outlier for Andy Reid?
That's not a bad one.
As much as I hated Patrick Mahomes and the trade of Alex Smith to the Redskins because I thought Alex Smith was the quarterback they needed, Patrick Mahomes has turned into a baller. And I hate saying that. About Patrick Mahomes. But I can see Andy Reid and what he did for that offense. Their defense is shit. But that offense is ridiculous. Yeah. But I think that's going to be their downfall in the playoffs is that defense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm going Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy. Yeah, I think it has to be.
I'm throwing the curveball.
If it's not Matt Nagy, I can agree. Yeah, I can agree with Andy Reid.
But Nagy probably.
All right. Offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year.
Your #1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas? I like that. I like a Michael Thomas. That's a risky. That's out there. It's bold.
Michael Thomas.
But I can see that. That's a good feeling.
Michael.
Yeah, I know I was bitching earlier, but like I could still go Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley, exact. I think I could say Todd Gurley too. I really think I could.
Like man was just on pace for ridiculous numbers.
But I think
the only thing that hurts him is his game's not played.
I'm gonna give it to Drew Brees.
Drew Brees wasn't good.
Because I think Drew Brees is the second best quarterback.
I just don't
And
understand.
I feel like
it's better as time goes on.
Yeah.
He's a fine line.
He had what, a 77% completion percentage this year? Something insane.
Yeah.
He's letting his nuts hang at 40-some.
Michael Thomas had 1,400 yards this year.
How many touchdowns did he have?
Like who
9.
fed
He
him?
had
Like,
9. Yeah.
Drew fed him like a little baby.
Drew literally just put it right in his mitt. He was like,
And teams knew they were going to throw the ball to him.
yeah, because he was
They
throwing.
added Des Bryant. I mean, maybe
Des
not
Bryant
hurt.
instantly hurt, and they added Brandon Marshall.
And he cut
Did they
him.
cut
They
Brandon
cut
Marshall?
him. Yes.
Really?
Cut Brandon
It's
Marshall.
all because Ted Ginn, man, the old ass man, who was
laying
ass
his hammer down.
Yeah, but then they also have Alvin Kamara and Melvin Ingram, who are like dynamic running backs. So like you kind of have to play the run game, but the Cowboys shut down that run game. And
That was a
Saints-
trap game for the Saints from the start.
Yeah,
They were
I think
hot.
it
It was
was.
like the
Yeah.
Eagles, Seahawks last year when they Seattle and lost on that
Mhm.
game. I think it was a trap game for them. All good things got to come to an end.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's hard. It's hard
I
winning.
think the Cowboys are a good team.
You know, we'll talk about that later. All right, defensive player of the year. I think it's obvious.
Leonard.
Leonard.
Terry Sony.
No, defensive player, you're not rookie.
Uh,
Go with defensive.
The defensive player of the
Yeah.
year?
Dude, that's easy.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald. He had 20 and a half sacks, and he's a defensive tackle.
Man just took a shit on everyone's chest.
Yeah, I think the Rams defense is overrated, and I think he's the only good player on that team, really.
Yeah.
He
On that
is
defense.
gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he could retire today and he'll walk in there. What was that? He won it last year too. He'll be back-to-back defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he's
I don't see anyone else winning it besides him.
Defensive player of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. My bad. Defensive rookie of the year.
Leonard.
Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard. What was like 150 tackles? 150 tackles.
Yeah.
Led
Led the league in
rookie,
tackles.
3
I'm
Three
picks.
interceptions.
I'm still a big Derwin guy.
I
Derwin is also up there because
Derwin.
Derwin James is a fucking
I
animal.
like Derwin. a lot.
Derwin. What do you have? 100 tackles? 100
Yeah,
tackles? 3
yeah.
picks?
Dude, he's
I think it
gonna
was
something.
No, he had like 4 picks, I think. Because I thought he was up there
Dude, I mean,
towards the lead. 3
Yeah.
interceptions, yeah.
what did he have?
105 tackles.
105 tackles.
4 fumbles, or 4 tackles for loss, my bad.
Yeah.
6 quarterback hits.
Dude,
75 solo tackles from the safety
3.5
position.
sacks and
he's gonna be
105
something
tackles.
serious, dude.
Yeah, he's an animal.
But I just think, I think
Darius
3
Leonard.
picks.
I think Darius Leonard just had.
Darius
He led
Leonard.
league tackles. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah. Darius Leonard got to give it Darius Leonard.
I'm gonna skip one because I know that's gonna be a real good one. MVP.
MVP.
I hate it, dude. Fucking Patrick Mahomes. I hate it. I hate saying
Patrick
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes.
This is my problem with Patrick Mahomes. He has done nothing in any of the big games they have played. The 4 big games they have played this year, which were their 4 losses. They lost to the Rams. Who were their 4 losses? Patriots. Chargers.
They only lost 3 times.
Oh, yeah, 3 times. He played the Rams game. He turned the ball over 5 times. Patriots game turned the ball over twice, and then in the Chargers game they got contained.
This is the one thing that I'm gonna The Chargers.
He hasn't beaten
Chargers
anyone
game. I will give it to you. Chargers game. That was all him, and that's a total lie. They beat good teams.
No, they
Then don't
haven't.
give it to him. No, if they beat nobody good, then give him the
here's my
MVP
thing,
because
though.
they
Here's
beat
my
nobody
thing,
good.
here's my
But his stats are insane.
Okay, but that's
I'm not-
hold on. Look, listen. If you're playing shitty teams and you're putting up stats, who gives a
we're
shit?
talking MVP though.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
stat.
Most valuable to
We're
your
talking
team.
numbers, bro.
I know we're
That's what
talking numbers,
about.
but I think MVP should be.
I'm just saying
No,
that
they do
you
have
did-
4
like,
losses.
him
They
not
lost to the
showing up-
Seahawks too.
Oh, they lost.
him not showing up in
Yeah.
big games doesn't take away from.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna say he's
Oh, this thing. You
I
know
mean,
what
I
it is
agree with
though.
everything
Hold on.
you're saying,
Let me
like,
throw a
his
little.
numbers
Let me
are
play a little
fucking-
devil's advocate because I think he is the MVP too. But when they talk about the Heisman, which is basically the MVP of college football, losing big games affects that. They can be 11-1, but if you lose to a shitty team, you're Heisman.
Well, that's why Tua didn't get it, because I don't. Tua didn't have a Heisman moment. His Heisman moment was freaking.
But I think Patrick Mahomes has had
Hurts coming in
a good amount of MVP moments, though. The no look passes, the 60-yard bombs to Tyreek Hill. I think he proved that he is the best quarterback in the league.
Dude, what is Bama's backup quarterback name? I can't think of the top
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts had Tua's Heisman moment.
Yeah.
That was coming in that game and beating Georgia.
No, I agree.
That's why Tua didn't get it. And Kyler Murray was a phenomenal athlete.
Alright, so where are we at next year?
Oh, well, this is what I was saying about this is what I was saying about the
yeah.
Chiefs. This is my problem with the Chiefs.
Well, they lost the Chargers by 1.
Alright.
They pooped on teams, though.
They beat the Chargers the first week. But this is early in the year. They beat the Steelers when we just watched what happened to the Steelers. The Steelers were
The Steelers in the beginning of the season were 7-2-1 at the midway point. They're 7-2-1, and they ended up falling apart.
good teams win. Good teams.
I know, but they were a good team.
They barely beat Denver. Then they beat the Niners without.
Denver's defense in the middle of the season was really moving, and they were really doing very well.
They should have won the Patriots game.
Then they beat the Jags. Then they beat the Jags, but then they lost to New England. Then they beat Cincinnati. They beat Denver again by 7 points. Then they beat the Browns. Then they beat Arizona. Lost to the Rams. Barely beat Oakland. They beat them by 7.
Yeah, but then they beat Oakland 35-3.
The Rams game was just fucking insane.
The Rams game? This is the thing about the Rams game. You cannot blame the Rams game on Patrick Mahomes at all.
They had 5 turnovers.
Okay, but this thing is, though, is the defense
gave
up 54 points.
But there was
You can't win a football game. There will never be a chance in the NFL ever that a team loses a game and they score 54 points.
Yeah, it is. It's called take away one of those turnovers. Hold on to the ball. One of those drives could be those points you need to win the game. That's 5 turnovers in a big game to define your team.
What I like about that though is he came back and fucking won from that.
He beat the Ravens. Yeah, that was a tight. That was a grudge.
That was a good game. That was a good game. And
but then they lose to the
that
Seahawks.
Chargers game, though, that Chargers game you can excuse because that Chargers team is the real deal. Like, that Chargers team
was down 14.
We're gonna see how he plays in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think this might be Andy's year, but I don't want to say anything yet. I hope Andy wins. I hope Andy Reid wins. What are these? Got some idiots over there listening to some memes, I guess. All right. So that's all the awards, though. Oh, comeback player of the year.
I'm back.
Andrew Luck, yeah.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, because you can put him up for a lot of fucking.
Andrew Luck could also be a sleeper MVP.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the curveball.
He's a sleeper MVP. Sleeper.
He doesn't get talked about ever.
So he's having a fantastic season. He still has a flip phone. You know that?
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. I promise.
Andrew Luck never changed.
You didn't know that?
No, he doesn't.
No, dude, he grew up on a farm or something. His parents are rich. His parents are filthy rich. Like, he didn't even have to play football.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
His 2018 stats: played all 16 games, 430 completions out of 639, 67 completion percentage, 4,500 yards. Pretty much could have been 4,600. He had
39 touchdowns.
Yeah, 39 touchdowns.
He had 15 picks though. Which is not a lot. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had 50 touchdowns.
That's just crazy.
And he had 5,000. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes winning MVP. I don't think it's obvious. He had
Yeah.
5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. That's insane. That's insane. Okay.
He's just like Andrew Luck's just a curveball that no one was talking about. Like type like, hey, I'm gonna throw something up, take a bet, Vegas betting.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna finish this off here. I have one final question for both of you guys. What the fuck is gonna happen with Antonio Brown?
There are a lot of things that can happen.
Like, what is gonna happen with Antonio Brown? Where is he gonna go?
Dude, I think something's up with the Steelers because you have the whole Le'Veon thing.
Yeah.
And Antonio Brown's doing football is at Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
They said the problem. They said it's Ben and Tomlin versus everyone else.
Yeah, I can
What
see
the
that
hell is
because
going on?
Big Ben's kind of a little pussy, and I can see that. And Tomlin, fuck Mike Tomlin, he's a shit coach. He was given all that talent.
Yeah.
That team is loaded, and
they should be winning. They should
they
be
lost.
undefeated, dude.
They
Big,
like,
I don't know what Big Ben was talking about. Antonio Brown was talking about. Big Ben had a stellar year.
Big Ben had a great year. Yeah,
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was one of the best.
So
Yeah.
I
Juju.
I think he's getting cut or
Love
getting a
Juju.
trade or something.
I'm saying he's either going to the Niners or the Browns.
I heard
Because the Browns got the money.
The Browns have the money.
So the Niners.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Browns or Niners, and then follow up to this question.
I was telling you, the Skins could pick them up.
The Skins,
they could. They don't have a big. They don't have money tucked into anything.
Yeah, no, they really don't.
But
especially if Alex Smith is like.
But will he want to play there? That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's true. Like they don't have. They don't have a set quarterback.
If Alex Smith comes back, I can see it.
Yeah, if Alex Smith comes back, yes, maybe I can see.
They need to draft a quarterback.
They'll have to. Yeah, that's another team. We didn't talk about that. We'll talk about that in the next episode. We'll talk about the draft because we'll get closer. Yeah. But like that's another team that could use a quarterback.
But Antonio Brown, I just don't. He's not even back in Pittsburgh.
No, I don't think he's back in Pittsburgh either.
I think Pittsburgh would fall apart. Ben Roethlisberger retire soon, and they're gonna have to rebuild.
Mason Rudolph, Mason Rudolph stepping right in there. I like him coming out of college. Should have been a first round pick, but he fell.
So it's gonna be Mason Rudolph, Juju, and James Conner. That's the new trio. That's the new trio.
I think they should break the team down and rebuild it right now.
And they got TJ. Yeah, and TJ Watt on the defense.
Mason
Rudolph. I heard Bud Dupree's kind of a cancer too, but that guy's pretty good.
What was it? Was it 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round last year? 5?
Jared Goff.
Not Jared Goff.
Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
They were saying he was sick, but no one else could do that.
I said Jared.
They were saying he should have been a first round prospect over Lamar. Some people have him over Allen too.
Okay. But alright, follow up to Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Where do you think he's gonna go? Colts.
Le'Veon, Jets.
Jets is a good one too. Jets. He would fry. Him and Sam Darnold would fry on the Jets. Colts is a good one too though.
I would have said the Browns, but then Nick Chubb emerged to be a star.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go the Jets because the Jets
I would
have
like
the
to
money.
see Antonio Brown in Jets. Brown uniform.
Can you imagine if Antonio follows Le'Veon to New York?
That would be something interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sam
Darnold, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. That offensive line's kind of shit, but they draft well.
That's what I'm saying. You draft. There's some good linemen in the draft.
If you're able to sign both those guys or get trade for one, and then
now this draft is offensive line.
Yeah, no, it is. All right. Well,
wait, we forgot to ask the most important question.
What is the most important question?
Offensive rookie of the year.
I almost forgot. How could we forget? Offensive rookie of the year, Nolan. This is gonna take a while. I'm sorry, this is not the end of the show. Offensive rookie of the year.
Just picking up.
For God's sake, on.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
Baker Mayfield is the offensive rookie of the year.
Nolan, let Nolan plead his case.
Nolan, yeah, you talk, and then I'm gonna yell at you.
We're gonna think it back and forth because this can't be. You can't just give me one.
Yeah, okay. Just I'll talk. Let me start. Baker Mayfield had 27 touchdowns in 13 games. Broke the record for rookie touchdowns. Like, you can't. That's offensive rookie of the year. Saquon Barkley's good. He's the only player on that team. He got 30-something% of their snap. Like, 30-something% of the time, the ball went to him. He had like 600, like, what was it, 600 snaps or something like that?
Why would you not give him the ball, though?
I'm saying, but if you're getting the ball that much, of course you're going to have those stats.
Okay, well.
Baker Mayfield took a 0-16 team and got them 7 wins. And Saquon Barkley didn't change the Giants' record at all.
Dude, you take Saquon out of New York, they were 0-16.
Nope. Because guess what? They would just throw the ball instead. They have good receivers.
My other thing about like Saquon is like, and there's big. Like, let's go back to the Eagles game when he like what he put up like almost 200 yards in the first half or some shit like that, something crazy. You still don't win.
They still didn't win the game. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't win.
Saquon, you can't put the games on Saquon to win. They need more around it.
And I think that's what.
And who gives a shit if he had 2,000 yards? Doesn't matter. They didn't do anything.
Let me talk about my man Saquon, alright?
Alright, talk about your man Saquon.
Alright, first of all, I love Saquon at Penn State. He was my guy. When I saw him get drafted by the Giants, I was like, I'm sorry to say this to you, Saquon, but I was like, fuck Saquon. Like,
yeah, okay.
I'm not going to root for you anymore. Because, like, I like Saquon. I love you at Penn State. Like, that's my guy.
God bless you.
Thank you. Saquon was my guy, but like I can't root for you in New York blue. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like, I want to see him do bad.
Yeah.
Like I just saw the same Saquon that was in Penn. I even said it. I was like, dude, the Giants are gonna ruin Saquon. Saquon is gonna be a bust. His NFL career is gonna suck. But I see the same Saquon that I saw at Penn State, and I think if the Giants can fucking get a line because their line is so shit, I feel like they all should fucking lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Saquon is going to be fucking...
Okay.
Because his numbers are up there.
Yeah.
They are.
They're all up there.
Listen.
And for him to do that...
Saquon is going to win it but I think Baker deserves it more.
I like
Saquon.
I like Baker.
Saquon will get the award, but in my opinion,
Baker
Baker
games in
deserves
his career. Like
Yes.
people thought Baker was gonna be a bust. He's like,
No,
Baker's a
not.
winner.
Baker's
He's a winner.
Baker's a winner.
Dude,
Hey, Evan Doherty, I know you're gonna watch this. Fuck you. Baker Mayfield's the game.
Dude, he took the 0-16 Browns to a 7-1 record, and he didn't play the first 2 games. Took over for the Jets game. Went into the second half, put up 200 yards, and won. And come from the Jets. Come back from behind, win against the Jets. He had, I think it was 4 comeback wins or something. 4 or 3. I might have the numbers was up. 4 comeback games, comeback wins, and 3 game-winning drives this year.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's like
we're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
It's gonna be
he just like that team changed. Like Nick Chubb didn't come until about like week 8 or something like
I'm
that.
talking
Because Carlos Hyde got traded to the
Hugh
Jags.
Jackson sucks. He's
Hugh Jackson sucks.
But they just look like
They look better with
Baker brought swag in. He meant more to that team.
Baker brought in the swagger. Baker's a goat.
He's well, yeah. Well, I mean, I think Saquon's gonna win it.
Too.
Yeah, Johnson.
Eli, you're done.
We'll talk about that.
Will Greer, baby.
Next time we'll talk about the draft. Next time we're gonna recap the games that have this weekend, and we're gonna talk about the draft. So tune into that. But this was Lamped Up Podcast, Lamped Up Sports Podcast. I'm Connor Quigley, Noel Mason, Eric Briano. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe, like, ring the bell. Ring the bell for Logie. Logie, say hi. Ring the bell for Logie.
Sup?
Alright.
You're gonna put his face in.
Stop that shit, bro.
See you guys next time.